Let's talk about Kickstarter exclusives. Now, up to this point, I've been extremely hesitant to make strong, definitive statements about exclusivity within the Oros campaign, mainly because there are things that I know, and then there are things that I don't know. The things I know are how to produce this game, how to get it manufactured, and how to get it delivered to your home. But the things that I don't know are things like distribution and getting into retail. And mainly because I don't have any experience in those things, and I'm not going to get that experience until I am actually to the point where I can get the experience. This weekend, I was able to sit down and talk with a few publishers who have deep experience running multiple Kickstarter campaigns, as well as a really strong understanding of how distribution works, what I can expect there. And in part of those conversations, it came up, they said, Brant, you absolutely have Kickstarter exclusive content in your campaign. You're just not defining it properly or using the right words to describe it. So now I feel a lot more confident in being able to speak more directly to this topic, and that's why I'm making the video. So first, the collector's edition of Oros is Kickstarter exclusive because it will never enter distribution. Now, during the manufacturing run, there will of course be copies that are produced over the amount that are backed on Kickstarter, because that's the way the manufacturing works. But those additional, that overrun, will be sold only through the Ash Games website, the Board Game Circus website, and then also at things like conventions or other in-person direct sales types of events. There's also the potential of creating little upgrade kits with like some of the wooden pieces or something like that that can be sold as individual little parts, but that's also sold at an extra price after the sale, and again would only be really available online through the direct websites and through conventions. And so in that way, the collector's edition is Kickstarter exclusive. This is the time and the place where you'll be able to have access to that edition, and then very extremely limited access as well as a limited quantity after the campaign. So the first question is, what does that mean for the retail pledge level? Well, I'm under the opinion that we should support our local brick and mortar physical location game stores, mainly because they're providing a service for communities around the world that no one else is providing. It's a place where people can come to learn about games, where they can learn how to play games, where they can interact as a community. And so it's a valuable service that local game stores offer. And so I think it's worth our time to be able to, give them opportunities to be able to offer things that usually would be outside of the realm of what they can get their hands on, and be able to offer it within their retail environments. For retailers who have pledged, I'd recommend assessing the value of what you're getting here, because it is something that will be exclusive. So this is your chance to get your hands on it, but also I'd recommend pricing it at a point that it makes sense to balance out the price that you'd find on Kickstarter. And if you've made arrangements with other people who'd be potential backers, this would probably be a good opportunity to open that conversation again to say, oh, okay, with this new information, this is what that means. So the next question is, what about the standard edition of Oros? Well, the standard edition of Oros is what will enter into the marketplace through distribution initially. And so that first print run will have these particular Kickstarter standard editions available. But that's not to say that the second run or third run would still include all of the upgrades or stretch goals or things like that. So in a way, the standard edition is also somewhat exclusive to our Kickstarter campaign in that it guarantees that you'll be able to get your hands on it, whereas you might not be able to get your hands on it later in retail, just because we don't know the full volume of that print run yet. And I should also note that while Board Game Circus is a well-known and established publisher and does have distribution channels, Ash Games does not. This is still something that I'm learning and that I'm trying to figure out myself. So there's not even a guarantee that the English edition will be distributed at all. And so I can't really answer those questions or make any promises there, because that is something that I still don't know. But time will tell, and we'll be able to figure that out as things carry on. Now, I hope that answers some of the questions and clears up some of the confusion. I'm going to go ahead and update some of the parts of the campaign page to make sure that this is clear, and also in the FAQ. But I really appreciate your patience in allowing me to figure this out and to really understand what the implications are, because as I said before, I didn't want to make any statements and have to go back on them. And so I've taken my time to talk to the right people and get the right information so I can feel very confident in being able to say that this is what's going on. So I will update the campaign page as well as the FAQ, and also there's going to be this update that people will be able to ask questions in, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them.